there's a lizard down there.
Dope, you probably can't get out.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? So this right here is my very first ever mountain bike, and I've had it for about 6-7 years, and it has helped me conquer so many roads and so many paths. So thank you, bike. I'd just like to give you a big thank you. But I have now pretty much grown out of it. My knees kind of hit the handlebars when I'm biking, and it is just a bit too small and too cramped. Before we get on, I'd like to give a big thank you to my newest Patreon supporters, patrons, Mike Kern. Mike, thank you so much, right on for the support. Josh Antonucci, Josh, thank you a ton. Samavaya JD, Samavaya, thank you. Stephen Blaine, Stephen, thank you for the support. And Mark DePriest, thank you all so much for supporting me on Patreon. It really does help because it has become difficult to continue on for a lot of creators I've seen, and by supporting me on Patreon, it really does make a big difference and help out. Luckily, a good friend Titus is gonna let me borrow his extra mountain bike for today's adventure. But we've been having some technical issues. One of the tires was sort of flat, and then it lost all the air during overnight. So this morning we changed out the tire, but then the valve was the wrong size, so we had to swatch different tires and rim, different inner tubes and stuff. So it ended up taking it longer than we expected. And now
I trusted him to put this in while I was doing the other tire, and look at that, the little gap.
Wait, how's that my fault if you were the one who pumped this tire up?
No, this is your tire.
I pumped that one up.
It's totally your tire.
But it's your bike, so you should have checked it. Snacks.
It's zombie meat, man. Okay.
Zombie meat? Zombie meat. Here we go. Woohoo! In the past, I've said my internet isn't the greatest. Of course, it's better than having nothing, but it's nothing too high speed. What I did the other day is I plugged, because my computer wouldn't connect to the internet was just horrible. I took the Ethernet, and I looked in the cupboard, and there was an extra Ethernet cable. This is what an Ethernet cable looks like, just in case you don't know, but I'm sure all of you know what I'm talking about. So I plugged that from,
I almost landed it.
I plugged that from the router directly into my computer. My internet was not incredibly fast, but it was much faster than it had been using the router. So we picked up a new router, and the internet has had an upgrade. At the end, during the positive quote, you'll see why I'm sharing this story.
So what is it?
Well, you have to wait till the end of the video to find out. Oof.
It connects to the road.
I thought it would connect to the road. You can still make it to the road, we just gotta make it over there. I remember coming here a long time ago, my dad. It was like a little restaurant, little place, but what's cool, you know, it's not just your normal bar. It's right on the beach. So there's this nice view headed down to the beach. They had to close it down because it's too close to the beach.
What might you be ordering today, sir? A cool fresh of water?
I'll get
refreshing water?
shaken, not stirred.
I don't know, but this was never stirred. It's become solid. You can have this.
It's an ice cube. And one of the things that I very much remember is at this little place, these posts. Now at the time, this was years back. I was a little teeny guy, and I remember I'd climb up these posts to the top. And at the time, they were like, "Whoa, climb out!" I was like, "Whoa, I'm climbing up this massive post." But now I can jump and touch to where I would climb up to. Just behind you, there are some leafcutter ants. They're gonna take you away. This is a tree that's been chosen by ants, and this is a tree that hasn't. Oh, what's that? Oh, I found something. That is so sketchy. Whoa! There's a lizard down there.
Dope, you probably can't get out.
I gotta help him.
Help him.
Gotta help the lizard. We're going down into this well to save a lizard. Whoa, he looks like he's getting really skinny or something. Don't move. I'm trying to help you. I'm gonna help you. He's running in circles around me.
He doesn't know what to do.
Stop moving. Don't move.
You get him?
Not yet.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Are you filming?
No.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, he's trying to get me.
There we go. Oh, whoa.
Okay, we're letting him loose.
Be free, little buddy.
Okay, here we come. You know, there's not like dedicated mountain downhill trails, so you just find back roads and you go for it. Whoa! Whoa!
Is this the wrong downhill?
No, this is the right one. This was here last time. Here we go. Pick up your bike. What is that, a watchtower? Alright, back from the bike ride, and I can definitely say I'm pretty exhausted. Last bike ride that was the longest was about 8 hours. This one turned out to be around 9 hours, so pretty long bike ride. And since I haven't really been biking for the past 6 months or so, I will say I was kind of out of shape, and I was getting exhausted and out of breath way quicker than I remember myself doing, but I guess that's what happens when you don't practice something for a long amount of time. Anyways, today's shout out for someone who left a comment on my last video goes out to Eliza Burton, and her comment was, "Congrats, Satua. Looks like you're being the purple cow." Well, thank you very much. That might sound like a strange compliment if you haven't seen the YVR live stream, but if you have, then you'll know what that means. And it just in case you don't know what it is, it's just kind of the idea of you're kind of like, I guess, standing out from other people. So I guess if there's a purple cow and a bunch of cows around, then you would the purple one would obviously stand out. That could be today's quote, but I did promise you a quote that kind of links with the story, I guess, that I shared with you earlier towards the beginning of the bike ride. And this quote concept is that you don't always have to just accept what is given to you. And that's basically the idea. So, as I was saying, the internet was having some problems. I could have been like, you know, there's nothing I can do. It's the internet. I guess it's just the way it's gonna be. But I started looking around, and I was able to find a cable, and then I was like, okay, well, it works with the cable, but it doesn't without, so it must be the router, the wireless, and then you just kind of use like problem solving. It's kind of like a puzzle. And I really wish I would have found this out 2-3 months ago, but I guess better late than never. So it's just, you don't always have to settle for what is given to you in the first time. Of course, there's the extreme to this quote. You don't want to be super needy, like it just isn't good enough, and it just is never right, it's just never good enough. That would be the extreme, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Remember to keep always doing awesome stuff, and I will see you in the next one.